Hi guys. I was thinking and praying about the last 2 weeks since I had my miscarriage, and just talking to the Lord about it. And I figured all of this is kind of good things that might help somebody if they're ever in my instance or in my situation, I guess. And maybe it could help them know maybe this is how it happened for me, and it might happen like that for them, or maybe not. I don't know. But it's been 17 days since the miscarriage. I believe 17, 18 days since the bleeding. My bleeding wasn't long and drawn out. I was 5.5 weeks. So it was shorter. I was told I didn't even have to get one of those where they clean you out, just to let it run its course. And I'm all about that natural thing anyway. So and it didn't take long. It felt almost like a normal period, only it was heavier at the beginning and really brown and all those things and dark red. And then just faded off really quick. And then I've been trying to jump back into tracking and seeing my ovulation and doing my basal body temperature, even though sometimes I'm pretty sure I don't know how I'm doing it, if I'm doing it right or whatever. But I have had, so it happened midweek, and then I had a few days before my husband left for a week on a mission trip. And so we tried to mourn it together, but we were still just in shock of what is this last few days been, and just emotionally distraught. We were also sick. So he left basically, and then the reality has just been setting. And then now that he's been back for a week, the reality just sets in every day. And yesterday I just woke up and I had a dream. I had a dream that I was walking around talking to a counselor, and she was asking me about a few light surfacey things, and then she asked me, what's on your heart? And in my dream I just started weeping, and I just weeping uncontrollably. And she was like, what is it? Talk to me. And I just kept weeping. And she was like, tell me what's going on. And finally I was able to stop weeping. And I remember almost self-consciously, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that this bothered me this much. And I told her about it. And I don't even remember everything that I said other than God took away my baby and all those things. And she wept with me, and she just listened. That's all she did, is she wept and listened. And I woke up almost refreshed. I'm going to start crying just thinking about it. I woke up refreshed and almost feeling like that was a counseling session from the Lord, or that the Lord had given me that dream to help me, 1, realize how much it's bothering me. 2, realize what I need is someone to cry with me and listen. And then 3, I don't need anything else from them. And that God cares about me, and He's going to provide that, even if people on earth aren't providing that. It's hard talking about even just an early pregnancy or miscarriage with people on earth. Their scope is earthly, so their scope is how do you deal with it now, and how do you move on from it, and how do you not make this mistake again. Their scope is earthly, so they think fetus, they think science. I finally just had someone say to me, 2 days ago, that you lost a family member. Before I said anything else, she said, wow, you lost a family member. Not like that. And I was like, yeah, I did. Actually, thank you for that. I mean, my family, wasn't on that same page with me. And they just wanted to tell me what to do and what to change so that next time it doesn't happen. And that's, just very hurtful. It makes it feel like it's my fault and that I killed somebody. It also makes it feel like I was foolish, and that this was my punishment for doing something dumb, like taking too much vitamin C or, whatever. I had a girlfriend, and there's no way she could have known, but she texted me earlier this week and said, hey, have you ever tried taking, doTERRA oils for your infertility or whatever? Because she knew I was trying. And it just, it scarred me. It was just in the heart of she has no idea what's going on in my life right now. And she's just going to text me in the middle of nowhere and say, hey, have you ever tried using oils? Because that might help you. And it's I don't want to hear what I can do to fix it. I lost something, and so I actually shared that with her. And then yesterday she texted me and was like, we'll use this blend and this blend and this blend, and it will help you with maintaining your emotions. I don't need to maintain my emotions. I need to face this and mourn this because nobody else is mourning it with me. My husband, he was on a mission trip helping with the foster care home. And so we immediately started talking about, wow, we've always had a conviction towards adoption. We just thought we would do it later on. Should we try to immediately adopt? And I'm kind of on that page. I would be totally willing to do it if he was. And he's thinking about it and praying about it and stuff like that. But he's like, well, let's get a puppy. It's like a puppy's never going to, and not that he wants it to really replace the baby, but he just gets a lot more excited about a dog than a baby, it feels like. And it also feels like he hasn't really cried over it. He hasn't really mourned it in the same ways that I have. And that makes me just feel like there's this big chasm gap. And so yesterday when I woke up and I had that dream, and I was just like, babe, this is what I dreamt, and it was hard. And of course he didn't hear that in the text. He just heard facts of I had this dream. And so he's like, oh, well, you only remember the dreams that you have right before you wake up anyway. And, giving me all these facts of oh, it's okay. Don't overthink it or whatever. And I was like, no, I don't need that. I need you here with me. And so he drove home and was comforting me. We were talking about the fact of it's just weird that we're on different pages, and it's okay. And we both love the Lord. We are still one and all those things, but we're on different pages. Probably because I was the one who carried the baby in my body and had all those hormones and are still recovering. My hormones are still recovering. And probably because, he knew that I was pregnant a lot less time than I knew. I saw the whole month, oh, my period's really late, and all those things. So, anyway, right after it happened, the Lord just gave me the words to pray. So I got my prayer journal here and I wanted to read it. Okay. And I just feel like the Holy Spirit gave me these words to pray and write out. And it says, Father, sometimes I confess I was tempted to think that I'd get whatever I want by just praying with big faith. Thank you for showing me that's not necessarily true. Through this last month, I've never prayed harder for anything, and it started to happen. But in your sovereign wisdom and power, you saw it best to allow that baby to die. Father, I trust you. I move forward with the same prayers, but with a deeper conviction in your infinite wisdom, power, and sovereignty. You are my God, and I am not. I just keep going back to those words and reading them to myself. As that will be my heart. Even though I'm mad at him for taking away my baby, really mad at him and really brokenhearted, he is God and I am not. In his sovereign and infinite power and wisdom and grace and mercy, he still took that baby. And there's not, I'm never going to get a why. I'm only going to know a who. Christ did that. And yes, he also died on the cross for me. And yes, he also has saved me from my sin. And yes, he also has promised me everlasting life through his sacrifice on the cross. But he also took my baby. Is that enough for me? My pastor this past Sunday was preaching on something. And his end all point was basically how many times does Jesus have to die for you to believe that you are loved and his and accepted, and you don't have to doubt the faith or doubt that it's enough or that you are enough? How many times does Jesus have to die for you? And my first response is maybe 3, because then I would really know that he loves me. It's whoa. If I watched my husband die for me, my loved one, Joe Schmo on the side of the road die for me, I think that would be enough. And then second, Christ, the Son of God, on a cross, pronouncing his love for me very clearly in the scriptures, is enough. And I'm going to choose to believe even though I don't feel like I can believe. Anyway, so this morning the Lord brought me back to some of the Psalms that I've just always gone to and that are my favorites. And they're all, scribbled around and highlighted and stuff. Psalm 120, first verse, I took my troubles to the Lord. I cried out to him and he answered my prayer. Psalm 121. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel never slumbers or sleeps. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord stands beside you as your protective shade. The sun will not harm you by day, not the moon at night. The Lord keeps you from all harm and watches over your life. The Lord keeps watch over you as you come and go, both now and forever. And then Psalm 125, those who trust in the Lord are as secure as Mount Zion. They will not be defeated, but will endure forever. Just as the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, both now and forever. The wicked will not rule the land of the godly, for when the godly will be tempted to do wrong. O Lord, do good to those who are good, whose hearts are in tune with you, but banish those who turn to crooked ways. Where was the other one? Oh, Psalm 128. How joyful are those who fear the Lord, all who follow his ways. You will enjoy the fruit of your labor. How joyful and prosperous you will be. Your wife will be like a fruitful grapevine, flourishing within your home. Your children will be like vigorous young olive trees as you sit around your table. That's the Lord's blessings for those who fear him. May the Lord continually bless you from Zion. May you see Jerusalem prosper as long as you live. May you live to enjoy your grandchildren. May Israel have its peace. Sorry. I'm not done with the crying process, and it's day 17 past the miscarriage. But I know God is sovereign over this, and that God in his infinite wisdom and power has chosen to give me this struggle and this pain. Another side note. Earlier this week, my husband was like, yeah, and we'll see that baby at the gates of heaven, and then we'll be able to hang out with it. And it's like, honestly, no. Let's get really real right now. I'm not going to care once I'm inside the gates of heaven. I'm going to care a little bit. It's going to be like, oh, that's so great to meet you. But we're in the presence of God. And I'm going to be worshiping God because he is what my heart has longed for all the days of my life. And he is what I was made for. And he is what I am called to worship and what I'm going to want to worship and what I'm going to want to be around. So it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, see you at the gates of heaven. I'm cool now. Let's move on with life. I can't do that because by the time I'm in heaven, I'm just going to want to fall down on my knees saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, along with all the other hosts of heaven. And that's just how it is. And that I'm gratefully saying that, that it will still be my focus when I get there. And it's going to be everybody's focus because he's just that glorious and just that mighty. So anyway, all that to say, there's nothing anybody can say that will take away the pain. There's nothing anybody that can say that will make me go you're right, this is okay. I can move on with life. And I read an awesome article. A young lady just like me, who had a miscarriage 8 weeks along, so not far along past me, and it was she went to her sonogram to have her first sonogram. She was so excited, and she sits down and there's nothing on the screen, and she knew something was wrong, and it turns out she was beginning the miscarriage process. It had moved or whatever. And so she says in that article something along the line of it's been a long time, and it just proves that time doesn't heal all wounds, and basically she's gonna live with this wound. And a few women have shared that with me of that I've had miscarriages that have talked to me time doesn't really heal that wound, you're always gonna. And I almost wish that it did. I wish that I could wake up and be happy again, and I think I will be eventually, but I have an Etsy shop, and I get up in the morning, and that's the last thing I want to do. There's also a bunch of drama. Somebody's filing a dumb case thing, and it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, sometimes customers are so mean. And they pick the worst month of your life to be mean to you. It's okay. Etsy will take care of her. But anyway, there's just, I'm never, like, I'm always, like, the next time I get pregnant, that's going to be my only fear. That is going to be my biggest fear, and I'm going to be, tearfully crying the whole pregnancy of Lord protect its health, and then the next time I start my period, I'm going to be like, is this a miscarriage? Because the last time I bled, it was a miscarriage, and I just, but God is sovereign, and He is enough for me, and He's my God, and that's all I have, because nobody else is on the same page as me. Literally, I feel like only God understands what I need and how I'm actually feeling and where I'm at. And that's enough for me. And He's the only one that can meet that need. And whether or not I get pregnant next month or get pregnant 6 months from now or begin fostering or finally get to hold a baby and call it mine and serve it with the rest of my life, whether or not I get to actually do that, I'm a mom. And I created life, and God did that inside of me, and He is sovereign, and He doesn't judge my thoughts and say, I have this one friend, and there's every little thing I say, just like, I'll be like, oh, God, He's with me, and He's with the baby, and that's how we're connected, or whatever. And she'll be like, well, actually, Scripture says that. It's like, I don't need you to correct me right now. I don't need you to correct every little thing I say with like more higher qualified scriptural or just like spiritually sounding speech. Like, we don't really know where the baby is, if it's in heaven or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care. All that I care about is God is enough for me. And that's all I have. That's the only anchor that I'm holding on to when everything else fails. You know how it is. Anyway, I hope this is encouraging, just my wiggly brain thoughts. Just I hope it's helpful and comforting to know that other people are going through it. And maybe they might be having the same feelings as you. Okay, I'm going to stop blabbering on. It's been like 17 minutes. So thank you and have a blessed day. Where's the end button?